Hello friends, Joseph here, and welcome back to some Midrange Shaman. And I should be a little more clear and say Jade Midrange Shaman, or Midrange Jade Shaman. I don't know how the ordering of the deck name works, but I do know that I have removed the pirate package, and I mentioned this last video, but I replaced it with 2 lightning bolts and 1 Manatide totem. Ooh, look at this anti-aggro warrior deck. That's going to be surprised when we're not actually we're not an aggro deck. We're not a shaman, that's an aggro deck, I guess I should say. Ooh, that might actually get removed, because that might be scary for warrior, but we never know. How could we? So this deck is... what the heck? I have never seen that card get played. I wonder if that's worth... oh, I don't know what to do now. Do we just Totem Golem? We could Totem Golem and then Lightning Bolt, but that's a little wasteful. We could coin out a Maelstrom Portal to clear the board and make it an awkward removal. That's not great for us. I mean, I guess the aim of this deck is really not to be going face the way that the aggro shamans do. Aggro shaman decks, and there's even aggro Jade Shaman decks that I've seen be very successful. We're going to get hit with a bash or a slam. Mortal Strike, even better. And then he trades off my minion, getting, I guess, healed back up to full. That's alright. And in this case, you know what? I have no problem throwing down a Manatide, because this is going to either force removal, or our opponent is going to feel very, very bad in a couple turns. Which I'm very okay with, because I think that's really the... ooh, Frothing! That's alright. And we do have nice removal for Frothing. I mean, it gets buffed up and he's going to feel great. He thinks he has board control. Thinks he's got life figured out. And then you get hit with a Blood Mage Thalnos. And we're going to go ahead and hit the hero power this turn. We don't want to commit too much to board. And we want to basically get our thing from below as cheap as possible. Now, coming up against, this is the second warrior that I've come up against. This looks like a weird hybrid. Obviously, I don't think it's an aggressive face warrior, pirate warrior. If it is, well then, they've drawn the worst of all time. Oh my goodness, maybe they have drawn the worst of all time. And guess what? I'm totally okay with that. Okay, yeah, no, I'm totally cool with this. I'm not even upset. I'll take the 4 face damage. It's worth it. And I'll keep the spell power. Now the question is, do I think this is purely a face deck? Or do I think it's some sort of hybrid that might have Brawl? Because I think playing Thing from Below basically gets me brawled every time. Which I don't really need to do. If this is an aggressive deck that really drew incredibly poorly, then I think I'm fine. Okay, here's the thing. Let's talk about this, friends. If this is a very aggressive deck that is using all of the cards that should be going face to be trading like this, they're going to lose every time, right? Like, there's no two ways about it. Going into turn 8, I don't want to overload, so I'm just going to do this. I don't see how... I mean, this might be some... this is probably a perfect example of what happens when Pirate Warrior draws patches, I think in their mulligan. We can go back and watch the replay. Or you can. I might too. Yeah, this might just be the worst drawing Pirate Warrior of all time. And I think the only way they would win is if they get a really, really sweet... do we just Bran into Jade Claws? Yeah, I think we do. We'll just trade this off to make sure we have space. I mean, I'm just not going to commit my big things to board right now, because I feel like there's no point. If we do get hit with a Brawl, maybe... I feel like that's the only way we lose, if somehow our opponent has a Brawl, if they hit an amazing Finley, which then lets them tap into perfect removals. I feel like otherwise we're going to win for sure. Which is interesting. I haven't played... I have actually, unfortunately. I feel ashamed to admit I have played the Pirate Warrior. I've never drawn it this badly as our opponent did, so... We should all pour one out for our friend here, who just happened to draw the absolute worst of all time. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. I'll see you next time. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, do whatever you want. Hope you're enjoying 2017 so far.